Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 1 o'clock to 1:30 p.m. session of the 2025 Open Seminar Community Conference. In this session, we're pleased to introduce our presentation on the PTSD. And JJ Drinkwater, our science fiction librarian. Please check out the website found at conference.openseminar.org for speaker bios, details of the sessions, and the full schedule of events. I also need to add that Lisena Wisdom Seeker joined us in 2025 also, and she's out there greeting our guests. Thank you. The session is being live streamed and recorded, so if you have questions or comments during the session, you may send the tweets to at OpenSimCC with the hashtag pound OSCC25. Welcome, everyone. Let's begin the session.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Lear, for the lovely introduction. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. It's an honor to be here today. The next slide, please. This is a picture of one of my carbon creative workspaces where I invent tools to help people navigate challenging life experiences. Among other things, I'm a trauma survivor. I survived a series of horrific back-to-back experiences that forever changed the trajectory of my life. It happened when I had few tools and no support and no internet. There were no trauma therapists around. Even the term trauma, post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, wouldn't find its place in the collective lexicon for another 10 years. Now here I am, several decades later, extremely trauma educated by now and possessed of a passion to support others who might be feeling the way I did when I was so scared and disconnected. Becoming an agent of positive change in the world is a huge thing for me because it truly offers the only clean justice I'll ever know. And almost everybody has trauma, big T or little t. It's a formidable force that propels humans to evolve. The key is, though, to survive the real life challenges that come in its wake. So we need a map to the other side of tragedy, and they didn't give us one in school. So we at Virtual Harmony decided to build a region toward this vision to create a safe space and to encourage creative life transformation using our challenges as launching points. This region that we're now building is called PTS Depot, It's still under construction, so it's currently closed, but I can take you on a brief slidey tour here to give you an idea of the timeline of our work. And starting with, next slide, please. Starting with where it all began. In the upper left here is a conceptual or pre-build image that represents the kind of overwhelming catastrophic feelings that often come with sudden unwanted major life changes. The bottom left is a crow, which is the first of several guides that appear in varying forms, especially in times of trouble, and they're there to guide you forward. The safety cabin is the first place that you as a player begin to think in terms of resource zones as a way out of any hellscape. Inside, next slide please, inside, you can collect the most essential of the necessities like a place to rest, healthy foods, a map, other magical and practical supplies. There's even a comprehensive interactive library for trauma survivors. And leaders from the field of trauma studies might offer you keys within those pages. You can learn about the works of real life people like Bessel van der Kolk, who wrote a book titled The Body Keeps the Score, which has famously become a meme, and Dr. Peter Levine, father of somatic experiencing, who wrote Chasing the Tiger and many other helpful books, and Dr. Judith Herman, who is a pioneer, understanding that every survivor requires three things to heal: one, establish safety; two, remember and mourn; and three, connect, because trauma is all about disconnection. The entire region keeps very close to this premise. So after resting and collecting supplies for the rest of your journey, you venture out to discover a world rich with insights and understandings, starting with the acknowledgement that there's always grief with trauma. Next slide, please. Then the next few slides show you a couple of conceptual images. Oh, that was more of the cabin. Sorry. Uh, take, there you go. Uh, s- this is a conceptual. The next few slides are conceptual concepts, images that we started with, followed by screenshots of actual builds. This one's Bergadena. The name Berga is a descendant from a Pi root meaning mountain, and Dana is a Baltic word meaning song or chant or lament. Bergadena is a place to give yourself permission to grieve. If the massive mountain can weep its tears to feed the earth, might you? Next slide, please. Bergadena's tears are the wellspring of a very special lagoon. Each floating candle in this conceptual image would have been lit by different individuals, each in remembrance and dedication to a personal loss. Again, this image is a conceptual one. Next slide, please. And this is a screenshot of the lagoon we built from these concepts. So you can buy a candle here for $0, dedicate it to someone or something you've lost, including perhaps even the loss of some part of yourself. You can share your sentiments with others or keep them private or journal in a private grief journal. You can leave the region and come back later, and your candle will still be there floating on the lagoon and it will still be lit. You can call it back to you anytime. And in the distance, we are mindful of the trauma fog, which often envelops everyone whenever a survivor tells their traumatic story. Next slide, please. These next two slides are also conceptual. Polly's Bagel sounds a lot like polyvagal. If you're currently uninformed about the physiology of trauma, you might remember the term polyvagal this way because and to be inspired to learn about your nervous system and what you can do to help it. Next slide. There's a biochemical soup inside each of us that manages stress or lack of it. These things are like adrenaline and noradrenaline, dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, many more. If you knew how to adjust those levels for yourself, wouldn't that be a form of inner alchemy, basically? And here's Polly's Bagel Shop, in world, the build. Next slide, please. Thank you. Come on inside for the next slide and have a cup of coffee. Order a custom bagel reflecting whatever your body is telling you right now. Now, there's something mysterious about Polly, though. Give her your bagel order and she'll point you to the kitchen. Next slide. Passing through that door, you'll find that the busy kitchen is more akin to, um, uh, that's the other view of the lobby. One more slide. Yep, you'll find this kitchen is more akin to a chemistry lab. Brainiac neurochemists with white coats fiddle with bubbling flasks and boiling neuro soups of all the known brain chemicals that flow through our nervous systems. You might even meet an NPC of Dr. Stephen Porges. But now you understand Polly's Bagel Shop is actually a front, an entry point for learning about Stephen Porges' polyvagal theory. And then you'll be asked to bake your own bagel per your custom order. The first you got to program the bagel oven, and starting with this interactive stressometer. If you're beyond stress, time will stop as it often does when we have trauma responses. But no worries, your bagel will tell you how to take care of yourself. Next slide, please. Out back, you might test your NVC skills in a match against 5 NPCs who want to see if you know the difference between boundaries and limits, and whether you can separate your needs from your strategies to get those needs met. You might also meet Frustration, who is, by the way, a loyal employee here, but one you must never ignore or weaponize lest he invite his friends' anger and rage to come trash the place. The next slide, please. Here are the herb garden, something really healing about digging in the earth, planting seeds and watching things grow. I personally love spending time here. Next slide, please. Siddhi is a Sanskrit term for mastery gained by a disciplined practice. This structure houses topic-related booths, shops, clinics, museums, galleries, and more, where there are NPCs demonstrating various real-life modalities that help the wounded. I just want to comment before we change it. These three concepts that keep appearing, and they all align quite well. So you can see that Judith Herman's principles on the left, the 3 points that I mentioned earlier, and then they kind of correlate with mind, body, and soul, and also becoming trauma sensitive and trauma informed and trauma educated. And next slide, please. You can explore close up what it is. This currently is unfurnished. We're just finishing building it and about to move people in. You can explore close up what is on the real life menu, like EMDR and brain spotting and neurofeedback, emotional transformative therapy, ETT, somatic experiencing, acupuncture, acupressure, Reiki, all kinds of things. And location of each of these is sorted by body, mind, and soul, and by using Judith Herman's threefold framework. This is the beginnings of a city, hence the name city, spelled differently, that can populate over time with non-commerce vendor booths, verified and scientifically validated for credibility, because we want this platform to be trustworthy and not just well-intentioned. And as I conclude, I think it's worth noting that we also foresee survivors bringing their tools to the table to share with other survivors here. We are planning to open portals to welcome participation so that this region may evolve where the wisdom of the crowd needs to take it. And then the last slide, please. I'm at the end of the line, which means that you are ready for your next adventure. And just remember that right now you're safe and life is good. And thank you all for coming. Back to you, Lear.
Well, that was a fantastic overview of your amazing work. You know, you have connected so many experiences and principles and theory and research together. It's been marvelous working with you these past few months and listening to your incredible designs. Andy, that's Spinoza Quinnell. Why don't you tell us what is it like for you? Because you're hosting the region. I know you work with some of the mesh, and you you have been presenting, like when she asked for a table, for example, you gave her a sci-fi table instead of perhaps exactly what she needed for a steampunk, uh, representation. What has this been like, Andy?
Well, uh, first I want to say the Dragon Doe has been an absolutely fabulous journey. And she's come in and joined our community in Virtual Harmony and helping her to get started on her vision. And I see this work continuing for going into the future in very exciting, dynamic ways. And so it's been an honor to be a participant in this. And actually, it has I think, Lear, you would agree, it has really had a profound effect on our virtual harmony community because, as Dragon Doe has highlighted, the things that she's addressing with trauma, I think all of us can benefit from, and I certainly have. So as I'm building things in collaborative efforts with Dragon Doe, I'm learning about the nature of her insights into trauma and healing approaches, and I've been experiencing it firsthand. As many of you know, that's listening to this, I was a combat controller years and years ago, and so I've carried some of that with me in having severe nightmares and so forth. And since I've been working on this effort with Dragon Doe, I have really benefited tremendously. And so I'm having a kind of a strange journey, as it were, participating in the design build process with her, and also going through a healing process. So it's been amazing journey, and I'm very excited about that. Just a little bit on the architecture briefly. We're running this off of an AWS cloud virtual machine Linux, and so Dragon talked about the vision for scaling this because there's the need for this is enormous, and so we fully expect it to be used by many people that are interested in offering and receiving help with trauma. So we have purposely put it onto a Linux platform that offers the database structures and all the security services and that we can actually then put across anywhere in the world. We can distribute the virtual machine as a package and have it up and running around the world. The I just would like to again say thank you, Lear, for the invitation for Dragon Doe to come and share this here. It's always a great pleasure to come here to this conference and to be a participant in it. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. And I know it was a shock. It was before Thanksgiving, and I was like, "Wow, I've been listening to this amazing build and this amazing theory." And I says, "We should present this." And those of you who know me know I'm very spontaneous and very excited. I get totally enwrapped in new ideas, and that's been one of the great blessings of working with Virtual Harmony with my fantastic team. And Dragon Doe has put so much effort into this, so we really want to thank her for sharing this incredible healing space that uses the virtual world, as a way of having this experience and remembering, that I'm in my safe space. And actually, my point, and Yubit's asking, what's wrong with a sci-fi table? Well, it's the notion that when we ask for requirements, we have a vision of what we want, but if we just set a table, there's many different types of tables, and of course, I was looking at the table, and it's a beautiful blue, the current with extra parts to it. It has a amazing character, shall we say? And of course, that's what's fantastic about working in a group is we start with something and then we go, no, that's not quite it, right? Right, Dragon? Why don't you tell us about your relationship with Andy as far as designing this space? We are almost out of time. We have 1 minute for that comment.
Oh, it's been an honor and a pleasure, and I've learned so much. And I couldn't ask for a better group of people and a better mentor. Um, Y'all are all wonderful, and I'm really humbled in your presence. So thank you very much for inviting me here and giving this opportunity to me. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you for that. We are so fortunate to work with you. Well, that's the end of our session, so I'm going to thank Spinoza and Dragon Doe and the rest of our Virtual Harmony team for creating this space and for an informative and interesting presentation. As a reminder to our audience, you will want to check out the conference.opensimulator.org to see what is coming up on the conference schedule. You won't want to miss our next session, which will begin at 2 p.m. in this keynote region, and it is entitled Immersion, Imagination, and Interaction VWEC and Open Simulator Grids. We also encourage you to visit the OSCC 25 Poster Expo in the OSCC Expo 3 region to find accompanying information on presentations and to explore the hypergrid resources in OSCC Expo 2 region.